You want to reschedule your appointment from Tuesday to Wednesday, correct?
In this video, I'm showing you how to add rescheduling and cancellations to your AI voice agents in Vapi and N8N. And I'm giving you my Vapi prompt, N8N template, and any code that you need to get started so you can literally follow along and copy and paste this for yourself. In my last video, we went through how to build a system that checks availability in calendars and books appointments. So we're kind of just building on that system today with added functionality. So by the end, your voice agent will be able to check availability, it will be able to book appointments, reschedule appointments, and cancel appointments without you having to do any manual work. So whether you're building this for your own business or you're wanting to sell these systems to other businesses, this video will help. So make sure to watch to the end. So we're going to get started in Vapi. Okay, so we're going to first create the assistant and set up all of these settings. So we'll come to create a new assistant. We're going to name this, we're doing it for a med spa, blank template, create assistant. So OpenAI is what I'll be using for the brain here. I like to use 4.1 mini, tends to be the best and the quickest. We're going to change this to a generated model message, and you'll see why just in a second. Now you're going to go ahead in the description and download the resources, and you're going to copy this prompt, which I've already tested. I could show you how to do that, but it would be sat here for hours, guys. So just trust me, this is a really good start. So go ahead and paste this prompt into the system. So just to kind of briefly go through what we're doing here. We've got the kind of basics of the business. We always want to timestamp it at the beginning as well. So for this example, we're doing like a med spa glow clinic, okay? Role and call directive, so just telling the assistant what it is, what tools they have available, the business hours, and how to convert some of the time zone stuff, especially with the Google Calendar. We want to make sure that those time zones are matching up, otherwise we're going to have issues. How to address the client, so I'll show you how to get this set up, but basically if it's someone who's called before, our system can automatically detect that and greet them with a personal message, which is quite a nice touch. And then we've got kind of instructions on how to know which tool it needs to use. And again, just a bit of a more robust system to make sure that we're not calling wrong tools. And then basically just a playbook of how we want the conversation to go. So in this case, we're going to be looking to offer them a consultation, and we want to figure out what treatment they might be interested in. Yeah, so they have the option to cancel as well, book a new appointment, reschedule, and we've also got a bit of a human handoff here. So if it all goes wrong or they request they want to speak to a human, then we've got that in place, and then just some notes about kind of it sounding more natural, basically. Okay, so we're going to publish that one there. We're going to leave the files as is, and we're going to reduce the temperature to about 0.1 or 0.2 depending on which voice you use. I find if it's any higher, it can sound a bit drunk sometimes or a bit crazy. Okay, voice configuration, I'm going to go for 11 labs. You can choose whatever voice you want, test it yourself, but I find 11 labs tends to have pretty good voices. Okay, that's good. Additional configuration, we can leave this for now. We might just turn these two on. Transcriber, Deep Gram Nova 2 is perfect. We'll keep that one. Tools we still need to create, so we'll do that later. Predefined functions, so we can put a forwarding phone number. So remember that human handoff we were talking about. So if they request to talk to a human, then we need to set up the number that's going to forward onto. So I'm going to leave this for now, okay? But you can imagine you could, if you were setting this up for a client or your own business, you could just have your normal standard receptionist number here as the kind of backup. We're going to leave that. So we're going to leave this. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is set up the link to N8N, basically. So what we're going to do, we're going to open N8N. You're going to download the template I've left in the description, and you're going to come up here import from file, and then select the file that you've just downloaded, and this is what you're going to get. Okay, so let's just walk through this briefly. So got the webhook here. Okay, we're just defining some variables, so like the CRM, the name of the business, what we want to call the service, our time zone, etc. So make sure you edit this to your own use case. And then we've got the tool router here. Okay, so you can see we've still got the check availability and book appointment as we built previously, but now we're adding actually 3 new tools. Okay, so look up client by phone. This is what is going to allow us to look at a Google Sheet to see if they've been with us before, and then we can give them a personalized message. And then we've also got the rescheduling path and the cancellation path, which we'll go through how to set up in just a minute. But just to get the Vapi assistant set up, you're going to go to your webhook, make sure this is production URL, you're going to copy this, and then you're going to paste this in server settings. Okay. We're also going to add an authentication. So to do that, I've already created a few, but you basically go to header auth for authentication, and then you're going to have to create a new credential. So all you would do is create a new credential, and then it's asking you for name and value here. So think of this as a username and password. Okay, so you can name this whatever you want. I'm not going to create a new one, but you would create a new one, and then you basically put it in here. So I've already made a kind of example test one, so I'm just going to put this in here. Obviously, in real life, please make this password a bit more robust. Okay, that should be correct. Save that. Okay, client messages we can leave. Server messages, we want to make sure we're not selecting all of these, otherwise we're going to clog up the NA10 system. So all we're going to want for now is the tool calls. Yeah, that will do for now. I'll click publish. You can play around with these other settings, but that is all we're going to do for now. Okay, next we are going to create our tools. Okay, so ignore these for now. We're going to create some new ones. So first one is check availability. Oh, perfect. The description actually doesn't matter, it's just for internal use, so you can add one if you want. Now you're going to go again to the link in the description, and you're going to copy this check availability tool. So these are basically the parameters that we're sending over to NA10 each time. Okay, and then you're going to save that. So apply, and then save. Perfect. We don't need to set this up because the assistant already has the connection, and we're going to give the assistant access to all of these tools anyways. So next we're going to create the book appointment tool. Perfect. And then parameters, again, go to the link in the description. We're going to paste the book appointment parameters. Paste those in here. And then apply and save. Perfect. So next we're going to create the lookup client by phone. So let's name this lookup client by phone. Perfect. Again, go over to the resources, and it's just this little snippet here. Paste that one in. Perfect. Apply and then save. And then we just need the rescheduling and the cancelling tool. Okay, so let's do rescheduling next. Reschedule appointment. Okay, and then copy and paste this snippet. Okay, perfect. And then lastly, we just need the cancel appointment tool. Okay, and then the snippet is in here as well. Paste that one in. Click apply and save. Perfect. So now we have all of the tools set up, but we need to add them to the assistant. So we're going to come back to assistants, select the one we've just created. You can go to Tools here, and then we're going to need to select the check availability, book appointment, look up client by phone, rescheduling, and cancel appointment. Hit publish. Perfect. Okay. So next we're going to come to A10 and get this set up. Okay, so again, like we talked about earlier, you're going to import from file, and this is what you're going to get. So there's a couple of things we need to do. So we've already set up the webhook link to Vapi. That's perfect. You're going to adjust these variables if you want to. So for our example, this is absolutely fine. But basically, we're going to define the CRM system. So we're using Google Sheets, but you can obviously swap this out for anything, HubSpot or whatever you want to use. The clinic staff name, the business name, service name. Make sure the time zone is correct. I'm in London, so that's fine. You can define your working hours, so 9 till 5, how long your meeting should be, and then the kind of buffer and cadence, so we can leave that as is. Okay, the check availability, so you don't really need to touch any of these. What I will say is that I have recently updated the calculate potential slots to basically consider the daylight savings time, which we're going through, I think yesterday. So what you can do if you want to adjust this to your own time zone, I would recommend copy and pasting this into ChatGPT and just explaining that you want to adjust this to your own time zone, which may or may not have daylight savings, and then see what it comes out with. Okay, but otherwise you can leave this as it is, to be honest. You just need to link your Google Calendar account as well. Okay, so if you don't know how to do that, you press create credential and you can just sign in with Google here. It's really simple. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, and then what this is doing is again filtering for the available slots, and then we're responding back to Vapi with the information that we get with any available slots. Okay, so you can leave all of that as is. Again, I've gone through kind of the check availability and book appointment in my last video, so go and check that out. The other thing we're going to add here actually to the book appointment is updating our Google Sheets. Okay, so this is going to be able to basically keep track of the client appointments that you're booking in an external CRM system other than Google Calendar. So after it's booked the appointment, we're going to set this up. So again, you're going to create a new credential, sign in with Google, really simple. You're going to select sheet within a document, append or update row, and then you're just going to select your I'm going to change this to YouTube tutorial. Basically, this is the name of your spreadsheet that you set up. Okay, so you'd set this up. All you're going to need for now is phone and name. Leave everything else. Make sure this is the correct Google Sheet, and then this is just the sheet. So you can see we've got two things down here. For now, we're just going to focus on client contact. Okay, you can map each of these manually by phone number. Leave these two as is. Basically, what this is doing is it's pulling the phone number from the call over the webhook to plug in to the Google Sheet, and then we're just finding out the name during the booking appointment process that we can then plug in. Okay, so you just basically leave this, to be honest, and then again we're responding with that. Now the lookup client by phone, what this does is before the agent even speaks, it should call this tool, and then if it sees that there's already pre-existing information that matches the phone number that's calling, then it will change its greeting to give a personalized message. So instead of just saying, hey, this is Chloe, how can I help you? It's going to say something like, hey, is this Connor? Or welcome back, Connor, nice to see you again, something like that, a bit more personalized. So again, making sure same account, same sheet. It's going to be the same sheet that we've set up. It doesn't need to be a separate one. And it's just taking out the phone number basically, again from the webhook. So you can leave that as is. Just make sure you set up the credentials. And then we're just responding here with that information. So again, just leave that as it is. Now we've got the rescheduling path. So again, make sure the Google Calendar account is linked. leave everything else. Guys, basically this is finding the appointment that has already been booked to make sure it has that one, and then it's going to update the Google Calendar event to change the time, basically. Okay, so just leave that, and then it's going to come back with success, hopefully. And then lastly is the cancel event. So I mean, guys, pretty straightforward at this point. Link your account, leave it as is. It's basically finding the event and then it's just cancelling it. Okay, that's it. Really simple. And it's replying with the response. So again, this is all already set up, so I wouldn't mess around with it too much. Just make sure your credentials are all linked, and then you should be good to go. So let's click save on this. Okay, and now finally, because we're testing kind of pulling the phone number from the call, we don't want to just test it by talking to Assistant here, because we're not going to be able to see if that call has worked. So what we're actually going to do is set up a phone number. Okay, so you're going to come over to phone numbers. You're going to create a phone number. If you're in the US, you get up to 10 free phone numbers per account, so you can just add in an area code and it will set it up for you. I'm in the UK, so I don't have that luxury, so I would recommend Twilio, but you can obviously use any of these options here. So you go to Twilio, set up a phone number, and then make sure this is obviously correct. And then in the Twilio dashboard, you'll see the account SID and the auth token. All you would do is paste it in here and import, and that's it. Okay, pretty simple setup. Obviously, I already have this one set up. But what you're going to need to do once it's in here is scroll down, and we're going to need to link this to the correct assistant. Okay, so now the assistant has access to this phone number, and we're going to leave everything, all the rest the same. Okay, cool. Now this should all be set up, so obviously you would make sure this is active, and then we can go ahead and give it a test. So let's see how this goes.
Thank you for calling the Glow Clinic. This is Chloe. How may I help you today?
Hi, I was interested in booking an appointment, please.
I'd be happy to help you get started. To begin, what treatment are you interested in today?
Botox, please.
Okay, great. The next step is to schedule a complimentary consultation with one of our specialists. Is that something you'd be open to?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, let's find a time that works for you. What day would work best for you to come in?
Anytime next Tuesday would work.
Great, let me check our schedule for that day. One moment, please. I have a few times available on Tuesday, 28th October. We have 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 10 a.m. Would any of those work for you?
10 a.m. Sounds good.
May I have your full name, please, to book the appointment?
Yeah, it's Connor Smith.
Okay, Connor, just to confirm, I have you down for a consultation on Tuesday, 28th October at 10 a.m. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Excellent. One moment while I get that set. Your consultation is now booked for Tuesday, 28th October at 10 a.m. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. Could I actually reschedule that appointment and to Wednesday?
No problem at all. Just to confirm, you want to reschedule your appointment from Tuesday to Wednesday, correct?
Yes, please.
May I please know what time? Of course. Let's find a time that works for you on Wednesday. What time on Wednesday would you prefer?
10 a.m. Would be fine as well.
I have several times available on Wednesday, 29th October. We have 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 10 a.m. Would 10 a.m. still work for you?
Yeah, 10 a.m. is good.
Okay, Connor, just to confirm, your consultation has been rescheduled to Wednesday, 29th October.
Sorry,
at
could I
10 a.m.
actually
If you need any...
Sorry, could I actually cancel the appointment?
I can help with that. Are you sure you'd like to cancel your upcoming appointment?
Yes, please.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay, your appointment has been successfully canceled. If you need anything else, please
Perfect,
don't
thank
hesitate
you.
to call back.
Okay, so you can see that was pretty successful in terms of all of the functionality. Obviously, there was a kind of a few things there in terms of the conversation that could maybe be tweaked to make it smoother. But all the tools worked. Okay, we checked availability, we booked the appointment, then we wanted to reschedule, and it checked availability again. It gave times for rescheduling. It rescheduled the appointment. Then I wanted to cancel, and it cancelled the appointment. So that's all working pretty well. So the last thing I just wanted to show you guys is the lookup client by phone tool in action. So now that we have this information in our Google Sheet, we can see if this works. So hopefully it should give me a personalized message when I call it.
Thank you for calling the Glow Clinic. Is this Connor?
Yes, it is.
Welcome back, Connor. How can I help you today? Are you...
Perfect. Okay, so that's all working nicely. So you can see it's calling the tool before it even speaks quickly, and then it's detecting that this phone number is linked to a previous client, and then it's giving the personalized response. So that's all working well. So that's it for the build, really. Obviously, we would do a lot more testing, a lot more reiterating to make it smoother, but that's the main functionality. Hopefully that was helpful. Like I say, all of the resources are in the description, so click them to follow along, and I hope that was helpful.